Hey guys, what's going on? Welcome to another video and welcome back to Spaceplan. Now, I know I said in the Let's Take a Look At video that we did for this game, I know I said that I wouldn't come back to this, but I decided that, you know, why the hell not? I mean, like, I was having so much fun playing it, and it was so addictive, like, and I was thinking about it today when I was going in to record shit, and I was like, do I wanna get back into this game? And like the almost immediate response was, yes, I want to get back into it. So here we are, and we got Sputnik now, so that's a thing. Just launched 2 of them. They'll be heading to our planet here in a couple seconds. But just because I came back for this episode does not mean that this series is going to last long at all. I am indecisive as to whether or not I want to reach the end of the game, because there is an end to the game. There is an end to the story. I can't decide if I want to do that or if I just want to play for a couple more episodes and then just leave it at that. It all depends on how fast I move and how quick things get done. Because, you know, at the moment we're kind of making quite a bit of progress now that we've got, you know, faster watt generation and whatnot. But, you know, I still don't know how fast this is actually progressing the story. So we'll see. And I know I haven't been paying much attention to what's going on over here, because this is the real indicator of the story itself, and I should probably do a better job of paying attention to that, but it's kind of hard to when it's just off up in here in the corner, rather than somewhere where I can see it. But latest update said panels are looking dashing, double the efficiency, because we just polished the panels, so that's pretty neat. Next thing we'll be able to get is another Sputnik. And it looks like these will eventually reach the planet. Either that or they're going to maintain some sort of orbit. Not really sure how they work exactly. But we're going to put in another one when we get the chance. And I really don't have to click or do anything. A lot of it is taken care of for me now, because we're generating so much. I could definitely add into it, though. It doesn't change it all that much, though. I can't click nearly as fast as it can generate watts on its own. So there's really no point in doing that. As soon as we reach about 18,000, we'll be able to put in another Sputnik, and then I'll probably end up waiting to see what this kinetic spark of fire does, or whatever. Large power gains if used effectively, plus 1% temp power gain per spark hit. I don't know what that means, but I guess we'll see. And you know what? Let's just go for it now, because the thing after that is the potato incubator, and that's going to take a very long time to reach. So really no point in me putting off getting this when it's so close and I can reach it fairly quickly. At least I think in comparison to this other stuff. And right now we are not being hit with the sun's rays, so the efficiency of the solar panels has dropped a little bit, not significantly, because in the Let's Take a Look At video we got an upgrade or an ideal from the idea lister that allowed us to generate power from those solar panels regardless of whether or not we were in the rays of the sun, whether or not we were, you know, actually exposed to those. So that was pretty useful, because otherwise it would drop much more significantly than that, I think. So it's pretty cool. Alright, so we got that. With the kinetic spark of fire, every time you press the kinetic, it will soak up the excess sparks from our solar panels on the kinetic screens. Every spark will give us a 1% power gain boost for a second or so. Yay. Alright, so I don't know what that means necessarily. Is this the kinetic? It totally is. Look at that. So when we do this, we get a boost. So there's more of an incentive now to click. Although it's not a tremendously effective booster, but it's helpful regardless. So that's pretty cool. And we're just going to try and get a couple more Sputniks going here, so that we can continue to output more watts. And I'm getting tired of clicking already, so we're just going to let it handle it on its own. Yeah, I mean, like, I didn't go into this game thinking that I was going to enjoy it as much as I have. So it's a pretty nice surprise. And it's only $2 on Steam. So it's a very cheap game. It has a very nice soundtrack as well, which you can get on its own if you buy the deluxe version, which is, I believe, about $5 and like 50 cents, something like that. So if I had known the soundtrack was going to be this good, I would have bought it included, and I wouldn't have spent money on another game. But since I did that, I can't. I don't want to waste money on the soundtrack, because it's an extra $3, and you guys know how picky I am about spending money on games and whatnot. So whatever, though. I mean, like, it's not a huge loss. You still hear the soundtrack every time you go into the game, so no big deal. And look at that, we're up to 216 per second. That's awesome. Sputniks are extremely useful. We'll be able to continue growing at a pretty exceptional rate, which is nice. Just very, very nice. I don't actually know what the end game is for this, or what it could possibly be. Maybe we reach such a large point of self-sufficiency that it just, I don't know, does everything for us. Who knows, you know? Close to being able to afford another Sputnik. I could buy a bunch of pro potatoes if I wanted to, but no real point in doing that. I mean, like, because I don't think buying a bunch of them will equate to what one Sputnik would do, or maybe they would. I don't know. That's something to think about, actually. Because, like, the pro potatoes, for everyone you buy, it would add 18.6% of what the total wattage already is, per second, I think. I think that's how that works, right? I have no idea. Not sure. I think it would probably be more worthwhile if we just waited to get Sputniks every time and then went through with that. And eventually I'll wait it out and get the potato incubator, because that'll get more work out of the equipment while away. 30 minutes idle power gain. I don't know what that really means. I mean, what's its definition of away? Like, I don't... Do I have to leave the game running for like 30 minutes and not do anything, and then that'll kick into gear? I'm not really sure. I mean, like, there is a lot of stuff we can still get. Ooh, this gives us a Sputnik power gain times 3. That's awesome. That'd be extremely useful right now, but that's 600,000 watts, so it's a little far away. But whatever. We're just working our way up to all of these different things, and we're already able to afford another Sputnik. Now we're up to 300 watts per second, which is pretty insane. I think we'll buy one more Sputnik, and then we'll wait it out to the potato incubator. I gotta make sure I have, shit to talk about during that time period, because I'm not gonna be doing anything while that's going on, It's hard enough as it is to find stuff to talk about when playing this game, because it's a clicker game, you don't have a whole lot to talk about because there isn't a whole lot going on. It's just one thing sort of increasing like this, and then you kind of playing a waiting game, so that you can, get more shit or do something different, something like that. So largely it's a waiting game, and for that reason there isn't a whole lot for us to do at any given time. But I'll try and keep it interesting, I'll try. It's hard enough as it is for me to keep videos interesting when I do have stuff to do, let alone when I don't. But I can make it work. I can make it happen. You just gotta believe in me. You just gotta give me a chance. And I'm assuming that this new Sputnik is going to take us up to about 350 per second, maybe a little less than that, which will be really nice to have. Because I think it about takes us 2 seconds at the moment to climb 1,000. Maybe like 2.5 or 3. So if we multiply that by 90, assuming it's 3 seconds, we will climb, it'll take us a little over, or actually exactly 4.5 minutes in order to accomplish that. So we got 4.5 minutes of waiting here, folks. So let's think of shit to talk about. It doesn't even have to be related to the game. You know what? I guess I could use this time, it's better than any other time, to talk about Linkin Park and One More Light. And I know some of you are probably cringing right now. We're super hardcore at the fact that I even bring them up. But I'm bringing them up because, they just dropped their new album, One More Light. It was, I think, a week ago for you guys. A week ago exactly. Because I believe this video is going to go up on the 26th. And in case you don't already know, Linkin Park is my favorite band of all time, and I'm pretty sure they always will be. So, just putting that out there. Yeah, so they put out their new album about a week ago, and they got a lot of backlash for it, because it's a pop album. And they are known for their rock, their alternative rock, their rap rock. Not so much for pop at all. This is their first pop album. It's their first time trying this genre. And Linkin Park is also very well known for experimenting with different sounds and different genres. They are notorious for evolving their sound in that way. Their first 2 albums, Hybrid Theory and Meteora, were nu metal, and then Minutes to Midnight was calmer rock mixed in with some harder rock and alternative rock. Then 1,000 Suns was electronica. Living Things was kind of like a modern day version of nu metal to a degree, more so alternative electronic rock. And then The Hunting Party was hard rock, really at its core, mixed in with some alternative and rap elements. Every album's had rap on it, though. When I say rap, I mean like rap was kind of at its core, at the core of the record. And then One More Light is a pop / kind of electronic rock, a little bit. It does have those elements in it, but it's mainly pop music. And the immediate reaction from a lot of people is that they sold out. And people just don't know the definition of selling out. They don't understand what that means. Selling out means you're doing something for money that you hate doing. You absolutely despise it. For example, if I did a promotion or an advertisement, because they would totally do this for me, a channel with a little less than 700 subscribers, let's say McDonald's wanted to do some cross promotion with me or something, and they wanted me to advertise one of their products. And I absolutely hated the product. They wanted me to advertise a Big Mac, and I hated the fucking Big Mac, because fucking Big Mac is fucking Big Mac, and I thought it was fucking nasty. Although in actuality, I love Big Macs. But let's say that was the case. That would be me selling out, promoting a product that I hate. The reason Linkin Park is not selling out is because they're doing something that they want to do, and that they have wanted to do for a while. If you watch interviews from the past, they have wanted to they have wanted to do pop for a couple years now, and it wasn't because they wanted to get on the charts again. It wasn't because they wanted to make money. They've said that this album that they put out was actually their most meaningful album to date, and if you just listen to the lyrics and you listen to the songs themselves, you can understand that, because a lot of the topics in this album are, based on, addiction, alcoholism, like their kids. They talk to their kids in some of the songs, and death, loss of close, people close to them. So it's a very meaningful album for them. And saying that they're selling out is, very insulting. I see it, to them specifically, not to me as a fan, but to them specifically, just because this is such a meaningful album to them. And if you want real concrete proof of that, they did a performance on Jimmy Kimmel of their song One More Light, which is, of course, the same name as the album. And they did a performance of that song on Jimmy Kimmel for Chris Cornell, who died recently. He was like the lead singer of Soundgarden. Didn't really know him before I found out that he died. But they did that in tribute to him. And just go watch that. It's about a 5-minute long video, but it really shows how meaningful this album actually is to them. So calling them sellouts is just blatantly wrong and ignorant. So there's that. But then there are people that say that they understand how meaningful the album is to them, and they're perfectly fine with the band changing their sound, but the album still sucks, in their opinion. And that is pretty understandable to me. I mean, when you listen to the album, I liked it when I listened to it, but it also felt like it lacked a lot of heart behind it. And I know that's kind of contradictory to what I was just saying, but if you listen to it, it feels like the lyrics have a lot of power, but the vocals and the music itself doesn't, That's what it feels like. And if you listen to interviews of the band talking, they'll say, yeah, the whole point was the lyrics are powerful and the music is kind of, taking a step aside. But, you can still have very powerful lyrics while having, powerful music as well. And I felt that the music and the vocals themselves were kind of very lackluster, while the lyrics had this very powerful meaning to them. And I guess that's really like a lot of the complaints that people have, is that the music is very weak. And I can definitely see that. It just feels like that a lot more passion was directed towards the lyrics and not so much to the music, which is, you kind of want to find an equilibrium there. You don't want one thing to be more powerful than the other. That's my personal take on it. But regardless of what I've said, I definitely recommend you give it a listen, front to end, or start to finish, rather. The first song on the album is Nobody Can Save Me, and the last one is Sharp Edges. I recommend you listen to it, just in order. It's a very good album. It sounds very nice, but like I said, it feels like the music lacks this sort of passion, and as well as the vocals. So, of course, while the lyrics have such a deep meaning to them. So, yeah, I definitely recommend giving it a listen. You guys, of course, will be able to check when you're watching this video, but on Billboard, they're predicting that the album is going to debut at number 2, which is better than what their last album debuted at. Their last album, The Hunting Party, debuted at number 3. They're thinking this one's going to debut at number 2, which is very good. It's like, that's extremely good for them. So, like, all of their albums have either debuted at number 1, number 2, or number 3. And having this album debut at number 2 is a good sign to me. You know, because for all the shit they're getting for it, it also seems like there's a very large portion of people that quite enjoy it. And that makes me happy. I hate ignorant shit when people are talking about music in general. Like, oh, this band is selling out because they're doing something different than what they normally do. No, that's not how it works. You don't understand, you know, what you're saying at all. You don't understand the definition of the word, or the 2 words, whatever, sellout. You don't understand. You know, you're extremely ignorant for thinking that way. But let's stop talking about that. I'm pretty sure I've spent like 5 or 8 minutes or something like that talking about this. It's enough. It's a little too much. Spend a little too much time. Spent a little too much time talking about that. But we did actually manage to get another upgrade. The Kinetigan now produces less modest 100 watts per cycle, which that didn't actually change anything here. And then the incubator, apparently when you leave the game, it'll continue to run, like this will continue to run for 30 minutes after you leave. So it'll continue to work and whatnot. So when we come back tomorrow, we should have a lot more watts, I'm thinking. That's how that works. I'm not entirely sure. We'll see. But we're going to end the episode here. So if you guys are enjoying this new series, let me know down in the comments section below. Like the video and share it with your friends. Let me know you want to see more of any game series I do here on the channel. The link down to the game is in the description box down below if you want to pick it up for yourself. And if you guys enjoyed this video in particular, again, all likes and comments are greatly appreciated. Subscribe to my channel for more gaming content. I play a source of games on my channel. Thank you guys so much for watching. I love you very much. And I'll talk to you later.